Hi, I'm Quincas and I'm a synth DIY guy, and today we're going to do a video about the Pierdzidelko, which is this crazy looking contraption here by Roman Sowa from Poland, who's also our technical consultant for the channel. And I'm just going to read a little bit of his manual because I love the prose style. This is probably the best prose style I've ever read in a DIY manual. So Pierdzidelko is and there's a footnote. Pierdzidelko, there's a little number 1, and you go down the page and it says, Pierdzidelko in Polish is a word that can be translated as a little something that makes farting noises. Isn't that just so cute and perfect? Originally this was going to be a normal overview, like my usual overviews, which are made of 2 videos. One is the unboxing build video, and then the other one is the demo. But guess what? I left my iPad in Burbank, California when I went to Synthplex. Thankfully, the police at the airport found it. They're going to ship it to me, but the footage of the building of the Pierdzidelko is in that iPad. It's going to be a little while before I get here, so I'll just make that video later, the build video. So this is just basically an introduction, a description, and a demo of the Pierdzidelko in action. The one thing I will mention, in case you're building one of these, do read the manual. Okay, it's a great manual, and there's lots of important information here, one of which I did not read and I made a huge mistake, which is about the switches. Here we go. The most important about the switches: they are not symmetrical, and if you solder them backwards, their on state will be reversed, so signal will pass when the actuator is up. I did not do that. I didn't read this part of the manual. I thought the switches were symmetrical. I just plugged them in and soldered them. Effectively, my machine is kind of crazy because some switches are on when they're down, some switches are on when they're up, and there's no real way for me to know. So that adds to the chaotic nature of the instrument. I have even less control than I would otherwise. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank my viewers, my subscribers, especially my Patreons, for hanging on there while I've been absent for the last few weeks. I've been really busy writing for advertising and some other documentaries and short videos that have come my way that I have to do because it's my day job, is what pays the bills. So hopefully I'll be back to putting out all sorts of videos and overviews and whatnot in the next coming weeks. That's it. Let's go check out the demo for the Pierdzidelko. Hey everybody, Quincas, synth DIY guy here again. And today I have in front of me the Pierdzidelko. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a wonderful little noise machine, little fart noise maker from Poland, designed by my friend Roman Sowa. Let's get right to it. It looks pretty complicated because it has a lot of switches, but if you break it down, it's got 4 identical sections, or pretty much identical sections, which are basically just oscillators. So let's break down one section so we understand what it does. So right up here we have the main tune knob for this oscillator. Then we have the trapezoidal shape knob. I'll get to that in a minute. Then we have the selector switches for the waveforms. The top 3 switches send the waveforms to the audio output. They mix them to the audio output. And the bottom ones go out to the modulation destinations. This is the modulation depth control, and this is the destination selector. So basically, you have a triangle wave. This first button right here is the triangle wave. But here we have the pitch control for this oscillator, right? And the selectors, the second one is the square wave. That's square wave. Now the third one, oh, well, that's a triangle again. Well, it's a triangle because the knob's on its left side. If I start turning it, watch what happens. Cool. So this is the trapezoidal wave, and you can control it manually from triangle to nearly a square, which is nice because it adds harmonics. It's kind of the opposite of what a filter does, right? All 4 of the oscillators have this shape. So if we turn them all on, we can have these pretty cool chords, and by turning the orange knob here. By the way, these knobs did not come with my kit. I put them on, but the new kits do come with knobs, okay, as well as button caps. So I really love this. You don't have individual volumes for each oscillator, but the shape knob actually acts a little bit similarly to a volume in that it makes the oscillator more perceptible as you add harmonics to it. And here's the main pitch knob. Really cool. It lets you move all of the oscillators simultaneously. And there's a CV input. Let's check it out. Let's throw an LFO in there. There we go. Now I'm fine-tuning the response. So as you can see, it has a CV input, so you can play around with other stuff in the modular maybe. Now let's go back to this. Now we've seen the audio routing, right? There's no volume controls, but you can control the shape of the trapezoid. You can add the square wave, for example, a triangle wave over here. So you can play around with that too. Now the bottom row are the modulation selector switches. So for example, if I want to send a triangle wave from oscillator 1 to oscillator 2 as a modulation source, I will choose triangle here, and then I will send it to oscillator 2 by pressing this button, and I'll turn up the intensity knob over here. Right? So let's turn these guys off for now. Let's just play around with some modulation, some FM. There we go. At this point, I think I've explained what the machine does, so let's just hear some of the sounds. Yeah, so at this point I'm just playing with it pretty randomly. And as I turn all of the modulation knobs down, then you get this clean sound again. Just the oscillators. Right? Love turning this knob. It's got like a glide too, check it out. Let's turn it down. See how it takes a little while to lower pitch, and then it takes a little while to go up again. So it's a very quirky, interesting device, and I'm loving it for sound design, for creating some drones and textures. It's intended as an educational sort of a toy, but I do see some potential for it as an actual instrument in my arsenal here in the studio. So I'm just gonna play around with it a little bit more, and I'll see you soon. The video for the construction of this module, of this device, it will be uploaded later because unfortunately I shot the time lapse with my iPad, which I forgot in California at Synthplex. Alright, so this is the Pierdzidelko. I hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit like, subscribe, and join our Patreon, whatever you feel like. And I'll see you soon in the next video, and stay noisy. Bye.